Good morning, it's January 6th, and we're off to the races this Monday, and I wanted to jump right to the Longbow dashboard to walk through and circle back on some of the things we talked about in the last couple weeks. So I've populated my morning tab, which is what I talked to you guys about, and a lot going on, and you can see a lot of this rhyming in the top 25, and I'll point that out for you. So this is how you can see when there's factors and other kind of exposures that are moving in sync with each other. So the first is the dollar. Guess what? It's overbought. Why'd that happen? Obviously, after Friday's inflationary prints for jobs and manufacturing, what we've got is people worried that the Fed's going to have to hike even more. And that means that our yields are going to be better than other people's yields across the world, and the dollar's going up. So right now you've got an overbought signal in the dollar. And remember, we talked about things that rhyme. What happens when the dollar's up? And we've had over a 0.9, well, that's in a negative way, correlation with gold and other securities. So it's no surprise, it shouldn't be to you, that the GLD ETF, so the gold ETF, is oversold today. So that's obviously one pattern that's still connecting, but giving you a reason why that is. And you can see it in other things in the pattern. And I'll show you in the top 25, there's other securities that are showing the same pattern. So the short euro security is overbought because dollar up, euro down on a relative basis. So therefore, the euro long ETF is oversold. So again, all these things that rhyme, we've got a short yen, the YCS ETF is overbought, just like the short euro is overbought. And that's one pattern you'd see. And some of these securities are on the top 25. So the top 25 things that are probably going to go down the hardest, top 25 things that are going to go up the most. And so I like to look at those patterns to say, like, let's say I'm playing something on the dollar or gold or one of these, or I want to get into it. This is a good time if you think that it's more technical than it is fundamental. The next thing I would point out is, obviously China had a really bad week last week. I think the FXI was down over 6 point some odd percent, but China's down again overnight here from Sunday to Monday, our time. And so it's no surprise you're seeing it oversold. It's not just that the three balloons, one of them we shot down here in the US, it's other factors that are going on. But you've got the oversold on the FXI, and you also have oversold on the KBA. Those are two different ETFs that are very large related to China. And then also China Energy, which is neutral, but you can see it's really hugging that low end of the trading range. So again, things that rhyme here, strong dollar, some issues, geopolitical issues, they're showing up on our screens. And then I would go to, okay, is energy just related to China or other things? We can see here, these are also on the top 25. They're all hugging near their low end of the trading range, and so top 25 odds to the upside. We've got Cheniere, which is an energy company, LNG. If you're not familiar with it, it's a high quality business. I'll give you a disclosure that we do own it in some accounts. And then other ETFs here. So you've got the BNO, so Brent oil. You've got the USO, again, and the oil ETF. And so all of these things are rhyming. So if you wanted to go long energy, if you're like believing in what Goldman's saying and there's some fundamental bets you like, obviously this might be a time to be looking at those. Otherwise, if it's, you're just wanting to buy ETF more broad exposures, you can keep watching these trading ranges. They're obviously flagging from a technical basis that there's a lot of potential upside if you think the fundamentals overall for the energy sector, they're there over the next few years. But this is one way I use the platform, and I really like to circle back on the things that we're talking about to show you can keep seeing these patterns. You can look in the top 25 and see a lot of what we just talked about, KBA here. You can see other mining companies here, but LNG, you've got various energy companies here on ones to the upside. But I thought that was a great way to circle back for the morning if you're looking for things to do this week. Talk to you tomorrow.